is not 1v1 in this series if they're going to win this. They're currently 0 wins, 4 losses in 1v1 in this week's tournament so far. Meanwhile, you've got Moxie on the other team. So you got to win every game mode that is not ones, and just assume that you're going to lose the 1v1s against this guy. It was definitely an exhibition win for Moxie when he did play against Luminosity last time in ones.
Yeah, and it was maybe a match that Ixo wasn't too thrilled to be a part of. As Moxie asked at the beginning of that game, is he nervous? Proved to everyone that no, certainly not the case. Although Moxie did have a little bit more of a tough time against Exotic later on in the bracket, but still, Exotic's not here right now. Moxie's not got to worry about him. And for the time being, it is Juicers that will look to just re-establish the dominance that they had in the freeze game yesterday. A bit of a sort of shocking dominance that we saw.
Yeah, they were underdogs, definitely, but they really came out hot. They dominated the first game of the series yesterday against Luminosity. In 3v3, they won the 2v2 as well, and then they took the 1v1, which was expected. So Luminosity have to start off well here, and they have to hope that Juicers don't pop off. If Juicers do pop off, they look pretty terrifying in every single game mode. It's not just the multi-carry in the 1v1. They're capable of taking games in anything here.
So Tox trying to get some space for his team to work with. Ixo getting harassed though on his way over to try and give him some support. We'll see whether or not Juicers can just re-establish what they had yesterday, or always when it comes to Rocket League, as Parker does at least get the first stop, not completely away just yet. But especially in Freeze, Johnny, it's so difficult to just maintain that level of play day to day, and in Freeze it can be even more volatile. As Ixo, with a taunt to his far side, can't get the ball over to him. And first real chance we've seen it for Juicers to start hold on to the ball, but instead clatters away, and they're happy to see the woodwork come through to help.
Yeah, very dangerous challenge angle there by Juicers, almost conceding off a 50-50 across the entire pitch. Now, after their initial loss in 3v3 yesterday, Luminosity went on a 5-game winning streak in that game mode between 2 different series. So they have got what it takes to win in threes. Actually, it would have been a 4-game winning streak. My mistake, but still, they are looking good in threes ever since that initial loss against Juicers. And I like what I'm seeing right now from Luminosity. I think if they keep this up, a win is coming.
Now ball bounces back out. Here's Atomic, takes the shot, and Parker instantly shuts that down, gives a breakaway as well for Juicers. Just can control the ball just in time, but still very playable, especially in this position for East this time. Just looking for the block, got a teammate involved. There's the third, and there's very little on the first shot.
Yeah, tough to generate a lot of power from that kind of angle. I think Juicers just decided not to go too crazy with their shooting there, because sometimes hitting the ball hard when you know it's going to be saved or you know it's going to deflect off the post, it's not a good idea. You're just actually passing the ball to the other team. Now Atomic, backboard double, just off target. Here comes follow-up. Ixo jumps the wrong way, had to correct himself by violently air rolling to the right. That was a big opportunity missed for Ixo.
Another bounce Ixo would have liked either. Could have potentially gone for the wall play instead. Just has to settle for maintaining the pressure that his team has got. And this has been a much better freeze performance out of Luminosity. Trying to prove that yesterday's match against Juicers was just a blip. Especially when you are in this best of 5. Getting the first game is so crucially important. You get to set the tone for the rest of the series. Juicy with Parker. Gets the wall, does hit the ceiling though, so not going to quite get the clearance that they were after. A minute and 27 left here in the game. Luminosity will be at least relatively happy with what they've seen. Atomic's backflip, not going to cause any real problems for them. Instead, Atomic should see this back yet again. I'm just trying to test. Both teams waiting to see if that mistake's going to come out. We've not really seen anyone take the game by the horns just yet.
Yeah, another near miss there from Luminosity. Oh, accidental backflip. Juicy Ixo couldn't pounce on him. Juicy panicking on the goal line there, but I don't think Luminosity were expecting him to be in such a troublesome position. Did not advance. I think, maybe 2 or 3 half chances going away now for Luminosity. And, I called that they look good for the win. Well, they've got to be taking their chances. They've got to be clinical at some point if they are going to. Juicers haven't had the most inspiring offense so far, but Luminosity have refused so far as well to score with all of their pressure. Now that's better. Ixo top corners a shot, and eventually the pressure proved to be too much for Juicers to handle.
Yeah, Juicy tried to get in. Parker's coming in from a very bad angle, and there's no way he could even jump anyway. He would have got bumped. So there is Luminosity finally establishing their dominance over in the Freeze game. They've just got to keep this up for another 33 seconds. The kickoff, however, maybe a little bit more volatile than they would have expected. I've got away with it. Now they've got to start building up from here. Parker dares Tox to come in for the challenge, and it's a dare that was not taken up. Tox back to the corner. Infield would have been available, but instead everyone's missing it. More crucial time taken off the clock. Atomic to himself. Parker's crashing into his own teammate. It is all over the place right now for Juicers. They do get a couple of demos. Setting up well. Looking for the bump on Atomic. Didn't get it. And Atomic, after guiding his way, weaving through the challenges, has secured his team the win.
Yeah, phenomenal backwall defense there from Atomic, swerving a couple of times to dodge the demo and then eventually ground the ball in the back corner with a double tap. So really good defending. The Juicers lacking that pace, that confidence that they had in their opening 3v3 yesterday, but they've not made that same blunder that they made yesterday in the upper semi-final. They've picked 1v1. So they're going to throw in Moxie and, well, hopefully for them, pick up another win on Juicers in the on Luminosity in the 1v1. Moxie didn't look completely bulletproof versus Exotic as we expected. Exotic really stepping up yesterday for Semper in the 1v1s. And I'm expecting, since Ixo failed so miserably against Moxie yesterday, to see Atomic taking to the field and giving it his best shot.
Yep, and I'm expecting to maybe see less chat being put in there by Luminosity this time around, as we will get into this very shortly. Just going to get Moxie to quickly do a restart, and then we'll be jumping into the 1v1. So what that means now for the rest of the series is that game 3 must be a 2v2. Loser of that one gets to select either 1v1 or 3v3. So effectively, whoever loses the next one, if we need that 4th game, if it is Luminosity, expect them to be picking the 3s. If we do see it for Juicers, you're seeing the 1s. That it's pretty simple at the moment. If 1s is on the board, Luminosity do not want to be seeing Juicers picking it, but they don't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah, this is the only way that you can guarantee 2 1v1s being a part of this best of 5. If you lose game 1 and you really want there to be 2 1v1s in the series, you have to pick it for game 2. You can't pick it for game number 3 like Juicers did yesterday. They made a big mistake, miscalculated the format. Today they've learned their lesson though. They're going to put Moxie in early, try and tie up the series. That will of course lead to 2v2 being the next game, but then they can just pick 1v1 again in game number 4. But at some point they're going to need to win a game that is not 1v1. They can't just fully rely on Moxie here. And you know, it's not a done deal for Moxie either. Just because he is the best 1v1 player in this competition, which he is in the EU closed qualifier, you don't have a 100% win rate. It's less likely for there to be upsets in 1v1. But Atomic does have a very solid 1v1 base, and he's very mechanical. And you can see that he's trying to just keep a hold of that boost, just like we saw Exotic do yesterday. And hey, he's got Moxie off his line and drops it okay in the quick chat. Early goal for Atomic as Moxie makes a mistake.
Yeah, Moxie just going for circles. There's nothing you can do there. It just completely gets himself tied up in a knot. Now here is... Do you want to explain that one?
Yeah, you guys can't see this on the stream, but Moxie's just written in chat, I understand why Ixo is not playing. He's trying to get some internal trash talk between Ixo and Atomic here, get the teammates to start arguing between each other, but I don't think it's going to work. I think Ixo will be quite happy for Atomic to succeed here.
It's just going back and forth here. We're going to have to give maybe bonus goals for best banter within this lobby. We'll keep you up to date with everything that we can keep you up to date within here. So far it has been pretty somewhat clean between the both of them. As Atomic comes out very well, offering a very different look to what we got from yesterday from Ixo. That's a little bit far too dead on. Does look for the bump, does get it as well. Moxie on the recovery is back just in time. And that shot really letting down Atomic. And Moxie telling him, go for it. He'll do better next time.
Quick chat, go for it there from Moxie. He's really getting underneath Atomic's skin here. That's, you know, an aspect that we see in 1v1.
Oh no.
A lot more than in other game modes. Even historically, the trash talking ones, it is just so prevalent as Both players are calling each other sad and cringe now, which is wonderful. I mean, I'm loving this.
We're about to get a ratio any moment now.
Sad plus cringe plus ratio. Atomic versus Moxie here.
How long it's... All right, I want a timer prediction from you here. What is the time on the clock that Moxie tells Atomic that he fell off?
I don't know if we're going to see fell off. Atomic actually equalized here. I'm liking his chances in the matchup. I have no idea where the quick chat's headed, but what I will say as far as the matchup, I think this could be a very close one. It's been close for the first almost 2 minutes, but I think playstyle-wise, Atomic has much better chance here than Ixo did yesterday against Moxie, because he's just playing a very, very safe strategies, prioritizing boost management. You can see here he's pathing over those small pads, keeping up the ball pressure. Moxie does get it past him, though. Very nice outplay there after grabbing the 100 boost post kickoff. But Atomic is a fast player, he's a mechanical player, he's a smart player. He's got a bit of one's history, at least in terms of practicing the game mode. So this is not an entirely alien concept to him, even though Moxie is far more active and right now a far higher rated player. I like what I'm seeing from Atomic overall, but kickoffs like the yesterday going extremely well for Moxie. He's got such a deep repertoire to dive into, and it's really helping him control these matches.
Yeah, it's part of me that's sort of hoping Atomic did take a quick look towards what Exotic was doing yesterday. A couple of those delayed kickoffs as Moxie not able to catch Atomic out with that particular play. Another chance, cuts infield, heard Atomic moving forward. Good fake challenge as well, just to get the play moving on. Last thing you want is to be stuck on your goal end against Moxie, taking shot after shot, stealing your boost. Booming, clear, not on target. And Moxie just leaves, had a look behind him, realized there was no pressure.
Yeah, that's phenomenal awareness by Moxie. A lot of players would have panicked in that position and jumped early at that ball, but he just stood his ground. He knew he had time, knew Atomic wasn't diving in for a demo. He did go for one there, Atomic getting a bit of a bump on the back of Moxie, but no demo, nothing too deadly. It's difficult to bump someone when they're on that corner wall, just repeatedly landing every time that you nudge them. Moxie is just playing a very, very safe possession-focused game at the moment. He is trying to chip away at Atomic's defense. He's trying to wear him down, waiting for a mistake. So far, Atomic hasn't made one.
Yeah, we've seen Moxie go for this a few times over the past few days. He's the one stuck in defense, and it's the good old-fashioned double jump in the net.
Yeah, Atomic, he messed up the first touch here, but he had a second chance at it, took control, and just barely popped it over.
It's worked for 10 years, that has.
Yeah, just a simple double jump pop. I mean, the reason the double jump pop can sometimes fall apart is because you're putting your car where the ball was. So just as we saw there, you do get bumped a lot when you double jump pop the ball over an incoming challenge. But that's not a problem when you're trying to score with the double jump pop. Very rare to see it working. I think Moxie was worried about diving in too high. He was probably worried about the low 50-50 there. That's why he didn't pre-jump over the top of the ball.
Quick banter update, by the way. Atomic telling him after the previous goal, bro, too slow. So they committed to this.
Gone that is you know, fair enough. I think he's proven that he is a threat here for Moxie. Moxie trying to just really wait for the mistake here instead of forcing one. Atomic's awareness has been unreal. Moxie flicks in the 4-3, drops a question mark in chat, and
oh no,
he's got it all to do again.
Atomic, there's been a lot of Z's been thrown into this chat by Atomic. You might think he's Nolly, sleeping on Guild like he was last weekend. So we now get Moxie towards the back. We've got a lot of updates to come for after this, but for the time being, Moxie went right down the middle. Has to fake out the first touch. The second flick. Atomic's gonna get there just in time. Pushed it onto the post, and now looks for the car. Didn't get the demo. He's caught him from a bad angle, and now he's the one under pressure. Bump, Moxie, he's gone. Now to make it 4 at Atomic. Well, it was certainly work, but he has got a hold of it.
What a bump by Atomic. He actually dodged Moxie trying to bump him. Little break check in the corner, and then clattered him out of the goal to leave it wide open. 40 seconds to go. And if Atomic can win this, he is putting Luminosity in a massively winning position. Taking down the one's main from Juicers would be incredible. It would be the perfect revenge story after Juicer yesterday, but that's not the play. Atomic goes all in on a straight line mid-air 50-50, and he's not goal side either. Really not a lot to write home about on that play.
Even Snasky's in here saying this is top-notch content and we should show. Look, we're trying our best here, Snasky. Moxie certainly is trying his best. Wants to try and get... Yeah, we're doing the best job we possibly can. There's once got a lot going on typically. When you add in a Twitch into a quick chat as well, suddenly becomes an awful lot more work. But the main thing we've got to focus on for now is the final 15 seconds. Atomic needs to get this ball back. Moxie aware of it, not going to go all in for this play. Realizes that losing it would have meant Atomic gets a free goal. Oh, these touches not great, and he just had to go for the maybe play. Moxie having none of it. He just has to get the ball to the floor.
Yeah, he's got a flip reset as well. Uses it to fake out Atomic. Really great game there from Atomic. He, kept it close, kept it competitive. But a big mistake at the end there at 4-4, where he just went completely all in on a mid-air 50-50. From the outside edge of the ball. If you're going to do that, you need to be between the ball and your goal, which is a strange concept when you're attacking in Rocket League. It's difficult to remind your brain, hey, this is 1v1. Just because we're right up next to the opposing team's goal doesn't mean that we need to forget about defense. I still have to be worried about the counterattack from any position. And yeah, unfortunately for Atomic, he did not think too much about that. He was just going for the big win in the position, and he took a big loss.
I think as well, Luminosity are trying to bait Juicers into changing their twos roster.
I believe so, yeah.
They really want Moxie in this twos game.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash talk
as well.
A lot of trash talk between these teams. So, the Luminosity guys are trying to convince Moxie, or trying to convince Juicers to bring Moxie in for one of the other games to show that he's really got it in more than 1v1, which I think would be a terrible mistake. If Juicers fall for that trap, then they're pretty much admitting that
they might have seen Juicers not pick ones yesterday and think, all right, we can do this. We can bait them in.
Yeah. They can't fall for that. They can't accept defeat, and they're not going to. It's going to be Juicy and Faris in the 2v2 up against Atomic and Tox. Now, 2v2 has been a pretty even matchup for both of these teams. The most winning matchup for Luminosity this event has been 3v3. The most losing matchup for them has been 1v1, 2v2, somewhere in the middle. So this is, I think, the difference maker, the most important matchup in the entire series. Whoever wins this is favorite to take it.
And for maybe one final update, because I doubt we're going to see too much in this game, Tox and Faris trying to change the tone entirely and just tell each other, have fun. Oh, and Atomic had plenty of it trying to find that save.
Atomic got to be the star player here for 2v2, in my opinion. He's a monster, but they're up against it early. Faris with the pressure play, flew in front of the ball, made it as awkward as possible for Atomic to get a clearing touch on this. Good bump as well. Juicy with the easiest goal of the day.
Yep, and very quick format update for you all. Whoever loses this gets to select either 3s or 1s in the next game. If you want it even simpler than that, if Luminosity wins, we're playing 1s. Yeah. Juicers win, we're playing 3s.
I love that it's that easy between these two teams. They just know. And you can't be cheeky with it. There's no point. Juicy making it 2. Tox won't be too happy with that one. He thought he had control here with the fake, but Juicy just turned on him. He called the bluff. Tox trying to, force Juicy to back up here, saying, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to hit this. But Juicy knew he's not going to hit it. He just goes for the ball. A little bit of a ball chase, but a successful one.
It's the second time that it's just sort of collapsed in the final third over for Luminosity. Big opportunity here. Juicers did win this one as well yesterday. And again, somewhat convincingly, all 3 of the game modes were very dominant. Pass, Faris doesn't get to it. Tox has got no real angle to work with. Just tries to keep the play alive. Juicy is booming clear to the other side of the field. Does get a block as well. Still play that in 3s. You'd be very happy just to be retaining the possession in 2s. Faris has still got a lot of work to do. Atomic on the breakaway, yet Juicy realized the danger, had to get over to it nice and quick. Also look for Tox's car, and just barely missing.
Yeah, that was not the, that wasn't the example of a good recovery there from Faris. He was completely all in, and again, actually, he's totally out of the game here, relying on Juicy to 1v2 defend. Juicy has 1v2 defended twice in a row now, with no help at all from his teammates, so Faris has really got to step it up here. There it is. Free jump save at the near post, great work. It's all about activity here. You know, you're not going to play a consistent 2v2 game if you keep taking yourself out of the game to do essentially nothing, just to concede possession.
Every time we get into those dead ball scenarios, it has been Juices that are coming out the better. Atomic taking his time, does have Tox in the midfield, realized though that the pressure was on him far too quick. And Juicy has been exceptionally fast at just cutting out the plays.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. It's not been pretty. He doesn't go for the outplay, it's just, I'm here first. The good old Rocket League classic, I'm quicker than you, and that means I get to score.
Yeah, Freeze does get an outplay here, though. Atomic thought that he could beat him to it, but Freeze had other ideas. A little pass to himself off the sidewall, and an open net to follow up. Much better there from Freeze, just keeping his boost under control and making good decisions of when to make a big play on the ball. But like you mentioned, Juicy's really been the guy who's controlling this lobby. He's shutting down every single attacking play that Toxic tried to make. That was a stunning reset. A little bit of a side flip after the landing.
Very rarely we even get to see a side flip reset. It's typically always the forward flip, and now Faris, just after being demoed, gets a second, and somehow that has not gone in. You're not going to want to see that again, but we probably will.
I've got to think that there is a bit of a smoke screen there to stop Atomic from seeing exactly where the ball was. I mean, for his sake, I hope there was a smoke screen, but that looked pretty open to me, and it looked like he had a lot of time on the ball. Maybe he didn't expect the demo to land, but man, that was a bad miss. There's no real reason to hit the post, regardless of whether or not the demo's happening.
And you know, if we do get the ones game again, Mux is going to let him know, hey, do you remember time you missed the open net? So, maybe Atomic needs to mentally prepare himself for that trash talk. But it has been very calm, actually. No Twitch chat, or I keep saying Twitch chat. Quick chat as Juicy. Bye, Juicy. You might land sometime in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, what sneaky demo there by Atomic. He forced Freeze to play the ball over him, and Juicy ran up on the back wall to try and dodge the demo, and that actually just made it worse, as if you're bumped off the back wall, you're going to go absolutely flying, as we saw there. 1 goal now for Luminosity. Still a good chance to take this. 2 goals into the hard read.
Oh, no!
Wow! What a play coming out of Juicy. He noticed the fake kickoff, paused, chipped it over the last man, and scores as well. But that was just a hard read by Juicy to predict Tox.
That was amazing. That's one of those plays that was so big brain, but it looked so small brain at the time. Juicy has just had an exceptional twos game for himself. The only time he was stopped was when he was sent to Mars. Now reset. Potential extra reset. No, didn't get the second one. A minute left. We did get one quick chat actually out of that one, and it was Atomic asking, did somebody tell him that that was going to happen?
Yeah, it was just a great read. I think it makes sense that Juicy would predict that, though, because it's been a bit of a quiet game in offense for Luminosity. They've struggled to get the ball past Juicy in the midfield, struggled to get the ball past Juicers as well, but Juicy in particular has been particularly impressive in this game. And when you're not creating many chances like that, it's very tempting to go for a kickoff strategy, which will often just yield an immediate kickoff goal. So they went for the fake kickoff combined with the demo on the second man. Juicy just predicts that, drives into the ball, and even if it isn't what they're expecting, they've got a backup player to try and recover, get into position. Oh, that's a good shot by Tox, but Juicy's even got that covered. Unreal. And they're going to be taking this one down. That means we're going to see 3v3 for game number 4. But it also means we're going to see 1v1 for game number 5.
Yeah, now it is really up against Luminosity. This was a must-win for them. And now the series feels like it's out of their hands. They would need a huge 1v1 win later on in the series. But first, before then, they have got to take a freeze game. It's just going off. Obviously freeze. They have confirmed freeze.
Yeah. I just love that you mentioned that during this game, both teams were pretty cordial. They weren't really arguing too much. No quick chat, no text chat. But as soon as the game ended there, Atomic says that they can't wait for the LAN and that they're going to destroy them on LAN. So, hey, you guys can have the online, but we're taking you down on LAN.
I think Ixo's just made a really good point here. He's just enjoying watching. It was the same yesterday. He didn't say anything, yet he was the one that had to put up with it in the ones game where, you know, Moxie, somewhat upset, annihilated him over in that ones game. And yeah, I just want to reiterate, Ixo's just sat here, just the fires burning around him, thinking, oh no, just gonna do my best here, lads.
I think Moxie he's really nailed the trash talk from every instance I've seen him do it. He really finds his sweet spot where it doesn't seem to affect his gameplay at all, and he doesn't fall for any of the tricks or walk into any of the traps that his opponents are setting him up for. You know, they're calling him out saying, hey, play the 2s, play the 3s. They've not done that. They're saying, no, I'm the 1v1 guy. I'm going to beat you in 1v1, and then my team is going to do the 2v2 and the 3v3. So Luminosity would have really benefited, I think, from a random late addition of Moxie to one of the other game modes. But he's not done that. They've not walked into that. They've just stuck to their guns, and they look like the favorites to win this one, even though they've just double committed off the sidewall onto an air dribble. Oh. Oh dear. That's a big miss in the back corner there from Juicy, our star player in 2s. And it does just lead to an easy goal there for Luminosity. Now, we keep talking about this as a game that Luminosity are expected to win, but that's mostly based on their record after playing Juicers yesterday. They actually lost the 3v3 to Juicers in the opening match of yesterday's event in the upper quarterfinal. Since then, they went undefeated. They're 5 straight wins in 3s since then in 3 different series. The 1v1 has been 5 straight defeats. So hopefully they can turn that one around. I do expect to see Atomic in the 1v1, even though he has already lost in this series to Moxie. It was a close enough game that I would expect to see him running it back, especially with so much trash talk occurring. But yesterday they were switching between Atomic and Ixo. They were switching between the 2 players. Neither player able to get a win in any of the 3 series where 1v1s took place. That's continued, of course, today. They've lost all 6 1v1s that they've played in this tournament. Well, I think it's actually 5. I'm not sure. Yeah, it must be 5 by now. But yeah, as you guys have guessed, we have lost Shogun. Hopefully we can get him back in a bit. It would be... Right, chat, spam ones if you can hear Shogun. I hope you can. Hope you can hear him. He's tried to say something to you all. I don't see any ones. I think it might just be me. Yeah, a lot of 2s. That's gutting for you guys in chat, because Shogun is dropping knowledge as usual. He's always such a joy to listen to on the microphone, but I can hear him. You can. If he's got anything really important to say, I'll be sure to pass it on. Right, Shogun's told me to inform you guys that he is livid that you can't hear him. He loves being heard. He's a bit of an attention seeker. He does love to be listened to as well. But unfortunately, he's going to need to wait, or at least overload me with knowledge.
You hear me now? Chat! I miss you.
If at any point, chat, you can't hear Shogun, just start spamming ones. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
I'm just going to
have a blunder there.
There's a lot of... Hi! I'm back!
Hey!
Okay, this... Wow. We should have played this off a different way, where I just kept doing the commentary and you just had to say it for me.
That would be difficult.
That would be difficult, but I believe in you.
I need to do your accent too, or just the words?
No, because I feel like I get insulted by that. We've still got... Oh, wait a minute. Well, I'm happy to be back in time for that goal.
Yeah, speaking of awkward 50-50s, that's not the one. Atomic with 2 now. As he tries to take a challenge and just deflects the ball into his own net. Just a couple of Atomic misplays here. You know, if somebody's come off worse from the trash talk that's been happening so far in this series, I think it might be Atomic. He's not looking too consistent right now.
I don't know, man. I think I'm the one that at least just took the entire brunt of that one. Of all the trash talk that's been going down, I'm the one that didn't get a talk.
Yeah, you just got to trash.
That's it. I got put in the bin.
Put in the bin. Shogun's microphone in the bin. Luckily, he's back. We didn't lose him for 40 minutes like we did the other day. This is great stuff for Juicers. Remember, it's a best of 5, so they only need to win this and prove that they can beat Luminosity in every single game mode, just as they did in the upper bracket. They haven't relied on 1v1 completely. They've looked competitive in everything.
Certainly so. Reminder as well, this is the lower bracket, so whoever loses this is out of the tournament. As Parker just didn't drop down in time for the Doomsy Dish. Juicy wants to try and find that third for Reese. A difficult angle, but he's made it work. 3-1, booming shot by Faris.
Juicy with a lovely setup. Ixo had no boost on the back wall, so he couldn't get to this even if he wanted to. Faris placed it right past him. But Luminosity look like they're kind of in a chaos mode at the back here. No organization. The formation looking very easy to break down for Juicers, who, by the way, are the only team to beat Luminosity in 3v3 this weekend. Luminosity beat Solary twice in threes. They beat Navi twice in threes. But meanwhile, it's Juicers who are giving them the biggest run for their money.
Yeah, and that's quite the confidence booster for yourself, especially when you do have an RLCS regional left to qualify for. Getting some wins over in a tournament like this will certainly set you up well. Tox against Faris. Well, Tox is not going to necessarily lose against a shot like that. Straight at him. Now Ixo on the counter attack. Oh, what a flick! Atomic faked it!
Wow.
What a goal, Luminosity!
Unreal assist here from Ixo to cushion the ball like this with a reset.
Oh my
kind of
goodness.
Flipped in front of it to slow it down. A little back pass somewhat. And Atomic mind games to finish as well. Waited for Parker's pre-jump. Placed it behind him. Luminosity need another one in a minute to keep this going, but right now, they're still in it.
Now for the corner, just over a minute left here. Parker moves on in after getting bumped. Didn't have the full control of his car. Faris takes time. That's off the wall. Huge opportunity. And Parker will re-establish the 2-goal leads.
Oh dear, what a mess from Luminosity. Atomic turning instead of challenging here, just completely confusing his goalkeeper behind him. And then the double commit comes through. Tox thinking, well, Atomic, are you going for that? Are you covering the net? I'm not really sure what you're doing. And Atomic actually just drove in a circle, then went back into the corner. Just a real disaster at the near post there from Luminosity. And credit to Juicers, they've punished all of these mistakes. They're just dissecting the defense, even if it has looked like way off peak Luminosity. Juicers, they look like the real deal this weekend.
Yes, especially with that ever-present threat in that 1v1 game. But they've proven themselves not to just be reliant on Moxie and the Ones. Exceptional performances throughout the entire week. Now Tox looks to try and get rid. There's still a little bit of time on the clock. But Luminosity have no way out their own side of the field, forced to finally boom it. Go for the shot, and that almost caught the defense out. Do recover it just in time, but both players were off the line. But Tox's final chance will not go in. And that is job done for the Juicers. Score an own goal. Needs to send it off.
Oh, Atomic just sent them off with enjoy your amazing win. He's furious, he's fuming. And really his gameplay shows it. I don't think that was anything to write home about from Luminosity. And, Atomic, for all of his trash talk, looks like he might have been the most affected player by it. He really fell off in this series. After a great start, they got the revenge in the 3v3. He was doing well in the 1v1. They just lost it 2s and 3s.